Canelo is big. And shout out to Crawford stepping up. But does Crawford have to be worried about more things than just boxing? Absolutely.
With the unification fight between Saul Canelo Alvarez and Devin Haney potentially being one of the most shocking pairings in recent boxing history, Bill Haney warned the undisputed super middleweight king that he should not underestimate Terence Crawford and that he is not a fighter like the ones Canelo has faced so far.
I didn't say he has to do any accusing, nor we would do that, but I'm saying is, let's worry. If you watch what happened to Devin, Devin just came out and said the damage is done after the fight. You can never go and repair that. So let's be cautious, let's be prepared.
Also, Teofimo Lopez added his bold take to the growing conversation around Canelo versus Crawford by revealing that he placed a personal $10,000 bet against Terence Crawford, with his own father on the opposite side of the wager. This move showed Lopez's confidence in Canelo's ability to win the fight and also highlighted the kind of emotional investment top fighters have in this potential matchup.
I would have took it over. I would have took over the show.
Who wins that fight?
I would have took over the show.
I got Canelo.
I got Crawford.
Oh man,
I
that's
got
not
Canelo.
gonna happen.
We bet 10,000. I want that on the table.
That's not gonna happen.
$10,000?
Who
bet
That's not gonna happen.
I know Canelo
This guy
should win.
got to run.
Canelo should win.
This guy got to run for
But I like to
12.
Teofimo Lopez Sr. has his own opinion as to why he hopes Canelo Alvarez will win against Terence Crawford. According to him, he believes more in what he saw with his own eyes compared to what cognitive trainers can place their bets on. Lopez Sr. stated that he noticed something regarding Crawford in his legs in his last exchange with him and used this as one of the times he was concerned about the conditioning of Crawford.
This guy got to run for
But I like to bust my
12
father's balls.
rounds, and I seen his legs, and I even texted him. I said, "Man, I seen your legs, man. You're a
Who'd you
bug."
test, Crawford?
Yeah, and then he said, "You funny, man." You know, and me and him was just texting back and back and back. You know, I see what I see. I'm freaking.
Got the eyes. What's your numbers?
You know, I might not be good on pads. I might not be good on something here.
You're talking about
but I'm
training of
good.
the year,
But I'm good with my eyes. I'm good with my eyes, and I'm good with telling my son what to do because I see it. You know what I'm saying?
You glitched the matrix, bro.
Crawford, a 3-division world champion and the first male boxer to be undisputed in back-to-back divisions during the 4-belt era, has been loud and clear about him being willing to move up to 168. His target of choice and the biggest challenge is Canelo Alvarez, and the boxing world hears. However, Bill Haney mentioned that the hype the fight has attracted is not just hype anymore. It is generating responses even from some of the people who have been involved with the good times in the sport of boxing. Haney, by saying it even attracted the interest of known idols of the time, has only underlined how potentially impactful and pivotal this game would become to the sport in the modern day.
Man, come on, man. That's the biggest fight, you know what I mean, in boxing right now. Canelo and Crawford. Crawford stepping up. Man, it's so big, you got Muhammad over there saying something about it. That's how big it is. He came off the bench from the 60s, right, Muhammad? You go back in the 60s? Yeah, well, listen.
The current super middleweight undisputed champion, Canelo Alvarez, who is a worldwide boxing icon, has proven as the biggest box office draw in the sport, having dominated various weight divisions to appear in numerous sold-out arenas worldwide. The Mexican superstar is the poster boy of boxing. That resume notwithstanding, though, the threat posed by Crawford comes in a decidedly different flavor, one that is informed by surgical precision, versatility, and dumb ring IQ. Against all this, Michael Jai White has given his prediction in the long-awaited match between Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez, specifying that he is picking Crawford. Starting with Canelo, he admitted that the boxer had developed as time had passed, but he went ahead to state his opinion by saying that speed, footwork, and all-around skills would enable Crawford to be ahead of him.
Because Crawford could find people to fight like Canelo, who is amazing. Canelo has he evolved. I saw how he evolved defensively and everything. I just don't think he's as fast as Crawford. And I think Crawford is just a little step ahead as far as movement is concerned. And so I think it's going to be Mayweather.
White said that a showdown between Crawford and Canelo would be like the same 2013 fight between a younger Canelo and Mayweather Jr., who had the better defense. Crawford, in his ring intelligence and style as well, could beat Canelo just like Canelo was outclassed back in his bout 2013.
Really heavier.
Yeah, Crawford ain't gonna knock him out, but I don't know if Canelo's gonna land very solidly on Crawford. Canelo's way better now, but I still think there's an edge. It won't necessarily be exactly like that, but I think he'll edge him out point-wise. That's what I'm thinking.
Oh, so you're one of the points. Okay.
Because points. I just think still Canelo needs to be set before he fires. His basics are solid, but Crawford is jazz fusion, I feel. He can do unconventional things where Canelo is conventional. He's perfect conventional, but it's kind of like, it's like Allen Iverson. It's the crossover. It's the thing that you just a little bit different. That just gives you, all you need is that little bit of an edge. And I think Crawford has that.
Amir Khan, who has fought both Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez, came up with a perspective that none may possess, since it was based on first-hand experience. He indicated the significant disparity in the level of availability between each of the fighters in their bouts. Khan said that Canelo, in all his strengths, could be tagged easily, and he was able to connect with the Mexican star.
You fought them both. Like, what are the differences between them?
Canelo's strong and is easily hit. Very easily hit, very easily. Yeah. Compared to when I fought against Crawford, I couldn't hit clean. They both hit hard because, and you could see the strength when I was fighting against Crawford. He is very strong as well. So look, yeah, but why does he need to give that much away? He's pound for pound #1 in the world. Why does he have to go up and fight Canelo?
But when he met Crawford, Khan used the words that he was not able to connect a single perfect punch, and he said that Crawford was elusive, unpredictable, and much more challenging to unpack in the ring. His observation gave substance to the debate that was still ongoing about who has a more advantage over the other in terms of expertise and defense.
I think that Crawford could beat him because Crawford is a big 147 fighter and is strong as well, which a lot of people don't give him the credit for. I think that fight, if it does happen, as long as Crawford stays away and just boxes and be smart, he can win that fight. I think Crawford's a better fighter than Charlo, and he's a smart fighter as well. He switches and everything, so that would be a very good fight.
Crawford has always shown the desire to challenge himself by competing against different weights. He shocked the world and destroyed Errol Spence Jr. as comprehensively as any welterweight champion in many years, and now he has no reason to remain in the welterweight division. Terence Crawford also explained what he may expect in a possible confrontation with Canelo Alvarez. He is well aware of the seriousness of this fight. He noted that Canelo was bigger than him and expected him to probably blend his style by using boxing on the occasions that require him to box, and also by pushing with his bulk so as to stamp his authority.
I'm expecting Canelo to be Canelo. He's the bigger man. I expect him to, box a little bit, but I also expect him, to try to walk me down and be the bigger man. So, we expect everything in there.
However, the transition between welterweight to super middleweight is tremendous not only physically, but tactically as well. Canelo has been fighting in the comfort zone of 168, knocking challengers of far greater size and defending his undisputed title. Crawford, on the other hand, will be going into the unknown. Nevertheless, that has not killed his ambition. Terence Crawford proceeded to point out the scale and the height of a possible bout against Canelo Alvarez. He reasoned that this would not be an encounter of mere skills, but a contest of two top fighters where the stakes would be high. Crawford had strongly pointed out that he would be seeking to dethrone Canelo, but Canelo was defending his legacy and status at the top.
It's going to be a spectacular fight. You got two great fighters, going head to head, and trying to dethrone. You got one fighter trying to dethrone the other one, and you got the other one trying to, stay at the top. So, it's going to be a great fight. Both of us got a lot to lose, but a lot to gain. So, I think that's why everybody should tune in, because it's going to be a hell of a fight.
And it is the ambition that has stirred fans and pundits in support of the thought of this fight. The suspense keeps growing. Boxing podcasts, web forums, and sports networks have been ablaze in discussions, fantasy breakdowns, and borderline prophetic hype. The potential style conflict as compact power and elite bodywork of Canelo collide with switch-hitting genius and counter-punching brilliance of Crawford can only make it one of the truly historic matches.
The greatness is within Crawford. It's in his desire, it's in his mind, it's in his makeup, where he came from. I know he's moving up in weight class, can he carry it? You know, but those intangibles.
Teddy Atlas has agreed that Canelo is a great warrior, especially when it comes to the achievements and ring performance. Atlas, however, made it clear that there is something more that differentiates Crawford and his elite level transition between many weight categories without diluting his sharpness, timing, and ring IQ. To him, the ability of Crawford is not only overwhelming, it is also exceptional.
Maybe he's a little overrated.
Terence Crawford versus Canelo Alvarez at 168 pounds.
Canelo's really good, really good. But I think Crawford is special. I know he hasn't fought the resume everyone wants, but you have that or you don't have that ingredient. I think he has it. Canelo's really good. He's tremendous. But could he be a tiny bit overrated?
One of the few elite fighters to ever share the ring with both Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez, Sean Porter, provided a more than reasonable and intellectually stimulating assessment of the possible fight. He talked highly of Crawford in a full range of skill, saying he was a master of the whole sport. He said, "You're talking about a guy who's masterful in every aspect of boxing, but the weight gap is serious. Canelo is naturally stronger. Crawford's going to have to be perfect for 12 rounds." The style taken by Crawford is mental and detonative. He lets a few rounds pass, looking at his opponents, and then clicks the switch and tries adjusting on the run with fingers like lightning and timing perfect. The fact that he can shift gears during a fight and force his enemies to lose composure has overpowered all his adversaries. Mikey Garcia offered his take on the Canelo versus Crawford buildup by acknowledging that part of the buzz surrounding the fight is fueled by promotion and hype. Still, despite all the noise, Garcia expressed genuine belief that Crawford will come out on top.
Some of that is promoting, some of that is hyping the fight, but I still think Crawford's gonna win. Yeah, I think Crawford's gonna box him.
He pointed to Crawford's boxing ability as the deciding factor, suggesting that skill and strategy, not size or strength, will ultimately control the outcome of the fight.
He was already pro, and I told him Crawford is a very good fighter. He can go right-handed, left-handed, smart fighter.
Back in that day, that wasn't normal. Being switched that wasn't normal.
He did it. When I fought him, he fought as a southpaw, and so his height, his reach, everything was so complicated. He might be able to give some advice, but I mean, Crawford has the IQ just as good as Floyd. It's not necessary. It's not like he's changing a style. It ain't no secret. Crawford's gonna box. Crawford's gonna try to outbox Canelo, counterpunch him. So I don't know if there's any need for having someone else right there. Crawford knows what to do.
However, in Canelo, he would encounter a person of his caliber, toughness, and intelligence. Canelo is not only tough, but effective, picking his shots, taking off the ring, and making people pay, particularly by body shots when they violate the game. As mentioned earlier by Ada Oladipo in an article considering some of the aspects of a discussion he had with veteran boxing reporter Dan Rafael, there is a further level of conceptualizing the difference in weight in boxing. According to him, many fans mislabel weight as merely an attribute of height or size, yet in actual sense, it is an issue of punch resistance, the capacity of taking shots.
Dan Rafael kind of made a great point when talking about sizes. Because he said, if you look at them two together now, they look the same size. He said, people have got the idea of the size thing wrong. It's not looking at them as a physical package. It's who has absorbed the bigger shots in the weight division. So, and it was good. It was a very good point. He was like, Canelo has been hit by light heavyweights and super middleweights for the best part of a decade.
Basically.
He's so used to taking those shots.
Based on this reasoning, he observed that Canelo Alvarez, who may have the advantage of absorbing the blows given his naturally bigger stature, may not have a home field advantage, but Terence Crawford may not be far off. To him, both boxers are robust enough to endure one another, and this makes the tussle even more enticing.
Crawford hasn't. Crawford's been hit by 140 guys and 147 guys for the best part of a decade.
Yeah.
What's Crawford going to be like? So basically, trying to say, Canelo could easily absorb Crawford shots. Can Crawford easily absorb Canelo's punches?
If you're taking shots from Triple G, Sergey Kovalev, Dimitri Bivol, and you're staying on your feet, not getting hurt,
not even getting wobbled.
Not even getting wobbled, just literally shaking it off.
Yeah.
You can take Terence Crawford shots.
100%.
To achieve victory, it is thought that Crawford would have to wage a near-flawless tactical battle move, land good shots, and not go into trench warfare, which is where Canelo excels. On the other side, when Canelo manages to slow him down and make him fight to the war of attrition, his power coming in could start to pay a dividend in the later rounds. Daniel Jacobs cogitated on the passage of Terence Crawford as a boxer and how advanced Crawford is since his early years, and how much he has grown over the years. Jacobs emphasized the mindset of Crawford and stated him to be a fighter with a persevering and hungry spirit, a fighter who loves to make people wrong. Talking about the larger picture of the fight, Jacobs continued that the reputation of Canelo speaks. Nevertheless, his belief in the fight was that both men were even opponents. One had strengths that the other did not. Although he stated that Canelo would probably come in as betting favorite because of weight and stature, Jacobs believed that he would go with Crawford given the choice.
Self-explanatory. There's really no need to go down the rabbit hole when it comes to him. But I do see this being as a 50-50 fight. But if I was a betting man, I would bet on Crawford. But also, too, you can't count Canelo out. I mean, would go in, I'm assuming, as the favorite, which is rightfully so.
To be more exact, Daniel Jacobs offered a better idea of the fighting style of Canelo Alvarez is as he experienced it in the ring with him personally. Jacobs explained how Canelo is a fighter who does not necessarily push steadily, but carries out his work in controlled intervals. He said that a challenge usually needs to be presented in the form of a worthy adversary, one who makes life challenging through impact, through intensity, through the surprise attack, to make Canelo display the entirety of his tools.
Canelo, which I've always said, is an amazing legendary fighter, but he fights in spurts. So sometimes it takes for the opponent to actually initialize him giving the best. When he was faced with me, the opposition that I had and what I was giving him, it was just a lot. Whether it was boxing, whether it was coming forward, but most importantly, it was the punches and bunches. And so he was forced to either stand there, wait for the right time, or be combative and go back at it. So I think that's what Crawford may have to do. Push the pressure, make Canelo fight, or maybe just play it safe, win on points, you know?
Andre Ward was quick to point out that Canelo Alvarez will be a much different fight than Errol Spence Jr. Ward said that Canelo will not come with the same types of openings, so this contest will prove to be very strategic and allow itself to be an intellectual challenge. He claimed Bud is special. He's got that switchgear that very few have, but Canelo's not Spence. He won't give Bud the same openings. This will be a thinking man's fight, no easy rounds. What is propelling this battle is the fact that both men get the chance to make history and add another dimension to their already spectacular lives. A win would make Crawford one of the best fighters of the 21st century, a man who dared to drop 3 divisions and took down one of the greatest boxing legends. To Canelo, it would seal that even the most tech-savvy fighter in this generation would not manage to upset him at super middleweight. Gilly turned up the scales of the possible Canelo Alvarez versus. Terence Crawford bout by supporting Canelo. He cited the precedent-setting nature of what Crawford was trying to do, which is to leap 3 divisions in weight and fight a well-sized champion of a higher weight. Gilly states fighters have also gained entry in the past, but mostly not as they have now done in one big surge.
Canelo and Bud. Who you like in this fight?
Canelo.
Why? Because Bud had to move up 3 classes?
Yes. And in the history of boxing, I've never seen anybody move up 2 classes and be successful.
Well, Roy did.
I mean, but not in one jump, not in one leap.
Right, you're right.
It was a here, right. Light, heavyweight, fight a few fights, right. Okay, heavyweight. We talking about he just fought 147 one fight ago.
Right.
And then you gonna fight at 168?
Yeah. Did he fight his last fight at 54?
Yes, just one fight though.
It comes with obstacles to jump over, namely weight requirements, and purse division and potential rehydration clauses, but momentum exists. Providing that the movers and shakers can come to terms, this fight can be one of the most technically demanding and emotionally tense encounters in contemporary boxing. The legend Usyk himself is siding with Crawford as well.
Finally, Canelo Crawford.
Very hard. 50-50. For me, pound for pound, number 1 is Terence Crawford.
This is not a battle. This is a clash of two heritages. On the one hand, it is Canelo Alvarez, the war-tested champion with size, strength, and experience. On one side, Terence "Bud" Crawford was a generational technician fighting to stretch the limits of perfection by moving up 3 divisions to pursue a piece of history. How can the quickness and genius of Will Crawford overcome the size and pressure of Canelo? Or will Canelo prove that weight categories exist and even a warrior like Bud can be brought to his knees in the wrong weight category? Leave your guess in the comments. Give it a like button if you love these dream matches. And don't forget to subscribe for more fight breakdowns, news, and exclusive stories in the world of boxing.